Okay, hello everybody, it's Adri Theron. I got another Otome video for you. I'm going through and I'm playing an older game because I got a key through Keymailer from Idea Factory. So thank you to Idea Factory and Keymailer for the key. I do appreciate it. But they gave me a key for Amnesia Later X Crowd, which is like a combination of the two fan disc Amnesia Later and Amnesia Crowd for the Otome game Amnesia Memories that is on PC, on Steam, and on Nintendo Switch. So I do appreciate getting a key for this game because I have been wanting to check it out because I did like Amnesia Memories, and I'm kind of like, I wonder what the fan disc is going to be like. And I kind of have mixed feelings about fan discs because, like, the Cupid Parasite fan disc I didn't absolutely love and adore. But I will say so far, and I've only played through two routes, right? Of this fan disc, the Amnesia fan disc, I think I'm actually enjoying this fan disc more than I enjoyed the Cupid Parasite fan disc, which was quite interesting because I really liked the Cupid Parasite game, the original game, more than I liked the Amnesia game. So I did find that quite interesting. So yeah, the game has a little interesting format. It is two fan discs combined into one. When you start it, it'll be like, hey, press up to go to Amnesia Later, press down to go Amnesia Crowd. Because the two fan discs by themselves are kind of like not super duper long. So they combine them, and that's pretty good for you and me. So, in a previous video, I talked about Toma. Toma is my favorite love interest from the Amnesia series. In order of interestedness and likeness and hotness and how much I love them. Toma is number one, then Ukyo. Now they kind of like are really close together. I really like both of them, and I really like the appeal of both of them. And then Ikki, and then Shin, and Kent is last. I really don't care that much about Kent. So, since it's a fan disc, I'm going through my favorites first. So, and there is some stuff kind of locked, but like it's mostly like short little stories locked. So there's really no reason to not play your favorite first unless you just want to like save the best for last. You do you, whatever. So, but today we're going to talk about Ukyo because I finished his routes. So, the fandoms are kind of weird. You got Amnesia Memories as the original game, right? And then Amnesia Later starts with this little new world story where all the guys like you and stuff, and it's set during the time frame of August, which is the original game. This is kind of just a short story. You do that for the guy you like, and then you unlock his after story, which is a continuation of the story and Amnesia Memories. That's for Amnesia Later, the top half of the game. For the bottom half of the game, Amnesia Crowd, you have the suspense section, which is kind of interesting and actually has like choices and bad ends. And it's like an extra story set during that August with that male character's world um, during the time that you have amnesia and amnesia memories. And then once you play, and let's see, what else does it have? It has that, and then it has these little dating scenarios where you can date with the guys. And then it has an after story, which is a continuation of the story from Amnesia Later. And then there's also this little like work-in mini game thing where you can talk to the guys and has like these little mini stories and etc. So these are kind of short stories. 99% of the game for both fan disc. There are some choices and they don't really matter that much so far. So you don't really need a guide too much. Probably one thing to stipulate for the suspense that has some bad ends. So you may maybe want to use a guide if you don't want to hit the bad ends. But I think some of the ends, you do need to do some of the ends to, I think, unlock some CGs, I believe. I think that's kind of going to vary by guy potentially. But once you get everything unlocked for a guy, you get special CGs. So I just do everything. It's whatever. But so the order I decided to play in is I'm hopping back and forth between the two fan discs. I go do the suspense story since that's set during the Amnesia Memories game, and Then I go do the little new world story in Amnesia Later. So I start with Amnesia Crowd, go to Amnesia Later, then do the after story there. Then I go back down to Amnesia Crowd and I do the after story on that one and do the little dating event because that's kind of set at the same time as the after story for Amnesia Crowd. And then do like the work and stuff and the little etc. stuff. Which is kind of like complicated. I'm hopping back and forth. If you play the game, you'll see what I mean. So let's talk about Ukyo's route. And Ukyo's route in the main game, you have discovered, in all the other routes, Ukyo's been kind of trying to kill you. And what you discover is that there are multiple worlds, which we kind of had a hint at since you had like Heart, Diamond, Joker world, right? You kind of already knew that. So there's a multiverse. In each multiverse, everyone has a copy that acts more or less similar, but like small details are different. So like in all the worlds, Shin, Toma, and you are childhood friends for the most part, and some should perform, right? You've known each other since you were young. And the guys are all attracted to you in pretty much every universe, just about, if they meet you. And so what you find out is in another world, Ukyo met you and you died. And he has been hopping around worlds trying to find a world where you both live. And what he's discovered is that you guys are not fated to be in the same world alive. So either he dies or you die, and the world starts to kill you. So if he tries to change fate, then the world starts to kill you. And he's died a bunch of times, and he's kind of formed this evil split personality. And the evil split personality is like, I got to kill you so that I can live. And how he's doing this is through his spirit friend, Nil, who's a god, which is related to Orion, your little spirit friend, and Amnesia Memories. So at the end of Ukyo's route, you guys kind of push past fate, and you both manage to survive the fated August where you're supposed to die. And Nil and Orion kind of help with that, and it ends the game with those two actually become human, which is kind of cool. And you both survive. You don't kill Ukyo. Ukyo doesn't kill you. You guys are Gucci and you made it past the August where you're, fated to die, usually. So how the game starts with his route when you finally get into like the actual continuation of the story, it's kind of funny. You start with Amnesia again. You don't remember what happened in August, just that you're dating Ukyo. You don't have all the details. You don't remember his split personality. I'm going to kind of ruin spoilers a little bit for this video because I think it's kind of pertinent. The split personality is still there. That did not magically go away, and it is not ever going away, apparently. And it's kind of interesting and really makes the route, like, Ukyo's route is really interesting because it's basically like you kind of have like two boyfriends a little bit because you have two sides of the same guy. It's kind of just interesting because Ukyo's like, yeah, I got a split personality. But he's not trying to kill you anymore, because you guys have made it past August, so there's no reason for the evil personality to kill you, because you both survived August and the world is no longer trying to kill you. So it's kind of interesting because the evil side is also just as much in love with you as the good normal Ukyo side. So I was surprised by this, and it's an old game, so I'm ruining spoilers for this video. I usually try not to, but sorry. I can't exactly like talk about anything in the route without just kind of bringing that up that's still there. So it's quite interesting getting to see that this stayed, like, and his split personality didn't go away, but he's not trying to kill you. So I found the route very sweet, very loving, very interesting. It's kind of funny that you have amnesia like a second time. I thought that was quite funny. And I'm like, you have no luck, girl. No luck. You have amnesia for a month and you almost die, and then you start with amnesia again. So, and also a lot of the route, you kind of get to learn more about Ukyo. Like, I do feel like some of the other routes in the main game, Amnesia Memories, like, you kind of get a little bit more information on the guys than you do in Ukyo's route. But now you're really starting to learn more about Ukyo in these routes and, like, learn about his job. Like, he's a photographer. He does actually have an apartment, even though we keep finding him laying and sleeping in the grass all the time. He does actually have a place to live. So that's fun and cute. It's just sweet. Something else that's kind of funny. So in this world that you're in with Ukyo, this is one of those worlds where all the guys work at the cafe, and Ukyo is a customer. And all of the guys, including Wawa, or no, not Wawa, is it Waka? Whatever, the manager, all of them are in love with you, 100% in love with you. And it's quite funny because they all make like jealous remarks. So I really did kind of love that. And it kind of like really played it up. And I don't feel like you really saw that in Ukyo's route in the first game. So I found that pretty entertaining. Like it's not like crazy, but it comes up and it's just kind of hilarious. So I do think this is kind of like the best world for you to be in and the best ending. As much as I love Toma, this is probably like the best. Um, so, yeah, I really enjoyed Ukyo's route, to be honest. Um, oop, I know I always forget to tap the button to make sure it doesn't start to go to sleep. But yeah, he's really sweet. He's loving. He's your one true love, right? He's traveled the worlds to find you and save you and heal you. Uh, some kind of something to note if you're trying to unlock all of the CGs. I saw this in a guide online, which is when I mentioned it. I think it was on like a Otome Kitten or something like that. So to unlock all the CGs in Amnesia Crowd, you gotta do all the stuff, which is pretty easy to do. But I just want to give you kind of just a heads up in the dating scenario. Um, you can either have normal Ukyo or kind of like crazy Ukyo pop up, you know, where he has like the dark eyes, the dark bags under his eyes, you know, the guy who's trying to stab you. So you end up dating both in the game, right? In the date scenario, you can have one or the other show up. So normally, 99% of the time, it's the normal Ukyo. So, but to unlock all the CGs for Ukyo and Amnesia Crowd, you gotta see the other Ukyo date scenario. So basically you just have to like join the date thing, see who pops up and go back. So I think it's not terrible. I think I had to like quit the date 5 times and rejoin in order to get the other Ukyo to pop up for the date. So it's not terrible, but just, you know, FYI, if you're going after all the CGs, to check it out. But yeah, and probably the most interesting thing I feel about the route, and it's not even so much you and Ukyo, but seeing the two Ukyos live together. It's pretty funny, actually. So yeah, um, I'm really enjoying this fan disc. I'm kind of surprised. I wasn't sure if I'd really enjoy fan discs. Again, I haven't played a ton. I played the Cupid Parasite fan disc. And I would say I'm enjoying this fan disc more. I know I said that earlier. I'm repeating it again. But yeah, I really enjoyed Ukyo's route. And the next one I'm going to go to is probably Icky. And hopefully I'll enjoy that one just as much. Anyway, if you watched this video, I appreciate it. Thank you. I would love a like and a subscribe if possible. That'd be super sweet of you. Okay, thank you and bye-bye.